All right, our last official lesson for the quarter, which is review, and we love review because it makes life so easy. All right, remember trigonometric functions and our story of the Princess Sokotoa, right? So what does this stand for? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent opposite over adjacent. That's what these stand for, and it helps us to remember. So we're going to use the correct trig function to solve this. So I'm going to label my hypotenuse first. Whichever one is the longest side, I can put little steps over here. Label hypotenuse, and then label adjacent and opposite, right? So if this is, and you base whether it's opposite on your given angle, your reference angle. Okay, you're going to use the reference angle. Okay, you use the reference angle. So it makes this one my opposite and this one my adjacent. And remember the little arm, remember the arms? Arms touches the adjacent side. My arm begins with an A, and so does adjacent. Remember that from doing that? So we're going to label it. Then we're going to decide if it's sine, cosine, or tangent. And then we're going to solve. Okay? So because I have adjacent and opposite, I do not have hypotenuse. So therefore it's not sine or cosine. It's tangent. So we're going to go tangent 27 equals opposite over adjacent. Oops, I should put 20 in there. Opposite over adjacent. I was writing the word adjacent. I'm going to set this up. I'm going to do cross products. X equals 20 times tangent 27. And we're going to get our calculator. Where does my calculator go? I have this calculator with me today. So, let me see. Can you see that? I'll have to get in really. And I'm going to go, was it 20 times tangent 27? 20. And then I have to do tangent 27, hit enter. Oh, I want to know what the decimal equivalent is. So that's, why is that negative 65? It shouldn't be negative 65. I think I have my calculator set on radians for doing this with calculus. Hold on. Yes, I had those settings wrong because I've been doing radians with my calculus class. But if you go to Desmos Scientific Calculus and just do 20 times tangent 27, you're going to get x equals 10.19. All right, that's what you should get for that one. Here we go. We're going to go here. And this is my reference angle. This is my hypotenuse. So opposite, there's my arm is touching this side, so I see this is adjacent. And what information do I have? Adjacent and hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So we're going to go cosine of 24 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Set up my cross products. X equals 10 times cosine 24. I can't show you the calculator. When you type 10 cosine 24 into your Desmos calculator, you're going to get x equals 9.135. And you guys should be checking that. Can you get this number on the calculator? Because if you can't, then we need to practice. All right? And our next one, here we go. Here's my reference angle. This is my hypotenuse. How do I know this is my hypotenuse? It's across from the 90 degrees. So I have hypotenuse. And let me see if this is my reference angle. This is my arm touching the adjacent. This is my opposite. So I have opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse is sine. So we're going to go sine of 55 equals x over 13. That's over 1. And here we go. We're going to go x equals 13 times sine of 55. Type that into your calculator. And did you guys type it into your calculator yet? I got 10.649. Actually, I got 6489, but I looked at the number right after it. And since that's a 9, I rounded this one up, so I got 6.49. Right? Now we're going to do the same process, inverse trig, but now we're looking for the angle. And remember I made the little joke when I'm looking for the angle, if I spelled it wrong, angle, you're going to use the inverse. Okay, inverse is just inverse sine, inverse cosine, and inverse tangent. Okay, again, here is, the process is the same. Label my hypotenuse. Okay, this is my reference angle. So these are my arms touching, this is adjacent, and this is opposite. What is it that I have? I have adjacent and opposite. So I'm going to get cosine of my angle equals 16 over 19. So if I don't have my angle, then I'm going to go cosine inverse 16 over 19. And that is exactly what I'm going to type into the calculator. Cosine of 16 divided by 19. So to get the inverse sign, the inverse, you have to hit that function button. It just says FUNC on the calculator. Then the inverse cosine will pop up. So you took inverse cosine 16 divided by 19, and hopefully you got 32.64 degrees. Okay, 32.64. Let's set up the next one. Again, we don't know our angle on this one, so we're going to label hypotenuse. This is my reference angle. My arms touch here, adjacent and opposite. As soon as I know it's adjacent and opposite, I know it's tangent of 71 over 60. Since I don't have my angle, I'm going to rewrite this as inverse tangent of 71 over 60, and that will give me my unknown. And that's what I'm going to type into the calculator. When I type that in, what do we get? Oh, you see my mistake? I read that wrong. That should be a 5, so I'm going to put 71 over 50. You guys probably caught that with your young eyes. And you type that into the calculator, inverse tangent of 71 over 50, and we get 54.85 degrees. And that is the measure of this angle. One last problem to do together. Here's my reference angle. This is my hypotenuse. My arm is touching this side, adjacent. This is opposite. I have opposite and hypotenuse. So the sine of my angle equals 23 over 28. So I'm going to do inverse sine of 23 over 28, and I'm going to type that into my calculator. So you type inverse sine 23 divided by 28, and you should have got 55.23 degrees. All right, so just review. When we're doing looking for the sides, we use SOHCAHTOA. When we're looking for the angle, we use the inverse. So let's look at this last page, page 16, or 18, what is it? 16, page 16. Okay, use the trigonometric function. So look at, we're looking for the side, the side, the side, the side, the side for the first 5, and then we get down here, the first 5 we're looking for the sides. Then once we get to F, angle, angle, side. So there's only 2 that you're going to use the inverse for. All the rest are going to be the regular functions. Oh no, I lied. These 2 are the angles too. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. Okay, this is your homework. I will post answers and you can see if you're getting it right. But you want to make sure you're getting it right. Have a great night.